Hey guys, welcome to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. This is Andrew Burr from the Andrew Burr Group at the Kai's Company. We can't wait to get started. Hey guys, welcome to yet another episode of Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. And we have the honor today of having Cagla Koc. Cagla Koc. So that's the producer. That's the guy that usually sits on the other side over here and does all the production and all that great stuff that you see. But I want to have her on for a very important reason because I haven't had anybody, is it improper for me to ask what your actual age is? Because I'm
I think that's fine. I'm 27.
27. Yeah. So I knew she was going to be in that younger generation, and the younger generation is extremely important to me in a lot of ways because when I get older and decrepit, you guys are going to be running the world, right?
Yeah,
so it's important. It's important to me that we know what's going on in you guys' world. But it is living in South Florida does not suck. So. And you have a journey, right? So so tell everybody how you got here and how that whole journey works and where you came from.
I moved here when I was 5.5 from Turkey. So I'm originally from Turkey. I grew up there. I grew up here. I mean, I spent most of my life like elementary school, middle school, high school. Mm-hmm. I did move around Florida a lot. So when I first came from Turkey, we settled in Deerfield.
Okay.
So I grew up in like Fort Lauderdale to Deerfield, Pompano.
I feel like there's a pretty big Turkish population.
Oh yeah, no, there is.
There's like a whole,
We're in groups. So you have a group, Fort Lauderdale group, a Boca group. It like goes in groups up and up and up.
And now actually it's a kind of a tie-in because I have customers that are actually Serbian from Deerfield, and there's a Turkish-Serbian tie-in of some sort. I don't even know if Turkey's near Serbia, is it?
No, it's close.
All right, so
they're all interconnected.
Cool. So you get here, and when you're saying you went to school locally, did you go locally in Palm Beach County or just locally in Florida?
No, it was Florida in general. So originally elementary school, I started in Deerfield. And then I didn't move out of there until it was time for like middle school because of the school there, the middle schools and high schools in Deerfield were not the best. So in order to, because I mean, my family obviously did come here to give me a better education and to kind of get me away from the certain things that were going on in our country. So, the best thing they could do was for education, move us. So I did Boca for middle school.
Okay.
High school, I was from Boca to Wellington. That's around the time when I came here.
So did you graduate from Wellington High then?
I got my GED, actually.
Oh, okay.
I didn't like the school in Wellington. I feel like just all the moving,
Yeah, it can be tough. I mean, it is very tough. My sister and I are military brats. I mean, we kind of did that too. Now she did a little more moving than I did. We got a little more settled because she's a couple of years older than me. But it's definitely a thing. All right, so when you I guess I should say, where do you live now down there?
Wellington. I've stayed here. Yeah.
Since?
Ever since we moved for, I want to say sophomore year, I haven't left. I like Wellington. I like the quietness. I'm not like a big city loud. I mean, I do like the city too, but I like the suburban as well.
Yeah, I hate cities. So
Miami is too crowded for me.
Yeah, Miami's way too crowded for me. And I love, so Palm Beach County is becoming a little more crowded and stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I definitely am more of a laid back. Like I don't need to have everything right outside my doorstep.
Exactly.
Number one.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into that a little bit too, because one of the things that we talked about a little bit with Tiffany when she's on here, and your boyfriend too, is that you like to camp.
Yes.
We'll get into that in just a minute. But so you live here in Wellington, Florida. What's and this is probably very important to a lot of younger folks that are thinking about moving here. What's the greatest challenge to you? Living here, and what is the greatest, the one best thing about living there?
In Wellington, I would say obviously with the rise and everybody coming here, obviously the income to renting ratio is the biggest con I've noticed, mostly in like Wellington and growing areas. It is the equestrian capital of the world. It is a beautiful place for families and kids to grow up. So, with a lot of the migration from northern states, obviously rent did go up. So that it would really be the biggest con. I mean, just to give an example, means like a lot of our friends, we live in like the apartments, really nice apartments here too. But they raise it up about $1,000, which if you are trying to save, buy a home, your career, that can.
I agree, so that's something that we're really working on. I mean, me as a realtor, I work on it with our local realtor group and stuff like that, because it's a big problem for me too in my business, right? because there's a certain point, and you hit the nail on the head. It's become more expensive to live in South Florida, particularly after the pandemic. I mean, we've always had a huge onslaught of people from up north, but the pandemic was like throwing gasoline on it. And yeah, you have a lot of more people here with a lot more money that don't even necessarily need to work, or they can subsidize it. So the rents have gone insane. Obviously, the housing prices have gone up as well, but not nearly as much as the rents. The rents in some places have quadrupled.
Oh yeah, I mean, just since before, Axis alone went from 18 to 28.
Oh, Axis, well, you're in a really nice. Axis is one of the nicer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't live there. We were originally gonna look into Axis, but then I was like, no, I'll pass.
Yeah. So, well, anyways, but that is the truth, and that is something that people need to be aware of. Is that it is more expensive. So, because a lot of people here from people like me or whatever too. Like I've always been telling my people it's dirt cheap down there, because it was. I mean, it was literally like dirt cheap for a while, for a long time.
I was looking at homes 3 years ago during the pandemic on Wellington Shore. There's these really nice condos. They're like white. I forget what the complex was called.
The Shores.
Is it called the Shores?
Yeah, Wellington Shore, the Shores.
But it was it was a beautiful 3-bedroom. It was going for $280,000. Really nice, and the same exact property today is $540,000. So
yeah, it's and once again, that's a product of you can only have so many people, because if then price goes up, supply and demand, all that kind of stuff. So it does make it a little tougher for younger people that don't have the established incomes necessarily. Now, there are some great options that are not Wellington, right?
There's some great options around.
There's some great options around. And typically most of the younger people that I put into stuff, we're either going to Lake Worth is a huge,
we talked about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's, and it's fun and it's vibrant and it's young. Like it's become a young town again. It went from when I first got here, it was a pretty young town, and then like me, it got older and older and older, and then it became an older. Like now it's really super
It's definitely young turned back around. I mean, there's a lot of the art going on right now. They're growing the art, like the district walk art thing. I forgot what it's called. The chalk walk.
They do the chalk festival.
But they also do a lot of like big parades and like community get-togethers, and it's really
and
awesome.
And the nice thing about Lake Worth for somebody your age is that. You can walk across the bridge to the beach. Yeah. You can, everything's within
like walking distance almost.
Right. The downtown, even if you're kind of like what they would consider the, northern or southern ends, it's still walking distance for somebody that's
even driving here is. I mean, our traffic can suck depending on how far you're going and if you're going on 95 at certain times, and like that can change a lot, but. Just generally speaking, like if you live in Lake Worth or even Wellington Delray, if you're driving to get groceries, it's like a 5-minute drive.
Yeah. Well, that's the way South Florida is built. Like we're not, we're very different than a lot of northern communities. You go to northern communities and you go, okay, here's the town area, whatever it is, and then here's all the houses out here, and they're out there. Like here, are the houses and the shopping centers. We're all kind of intermingled. Yeah, and that's definitely a fun aspect of it. So from another the other side of the youthful perspective, and it doesn't have to be Wellington, it can be South Florida. What is the absolute best thing? What do you love the most?
What I like the most about Florida and like the area that I live in general, there is something for everything. Like you have, obviously anything snowboarding related, you really can't do anything with snow. Like you kind of can't unless they have the indoor.
Get pulled behind a boat on
the water skiing you can.
Well, they got the little things that look like the snow skis now, like the one
that you hold on to the little rope thing. Yeah,
well, it's just like one piece, and you just slide. And
up.
It looks like it's really easy. Apparently, I don't know.
I mean, but pretty much have everything you're looking for here close by. If you're a camper, like I love camping. You have some of the most beautiful national parks. You have campsites. Just you want to go up north, you could do a staycation, 2 hours up north, camp for 3 days. It costs you $100 and you're away. You know what I mean? It's awesome. The beaches, we have the most beautiful beaches, both East Coast, West Coast, and the beaches are very different from one another.
Yeah, they are definitely.
You're getting something different everywhere you go. But besides from that, like just speaking on Wellington, even though it is very family based, I love it here. Like the drives here, the way that everything's built, it's very scenic.
Yeah, it is, and that is, they've done a great job of keeping it scenic. And Wellington, talk about parks. I mean, Wellington, I don't know the amount of city parks, but there's a ton of city parks.
Just 4 close to like 3 miles away from us, like 4.
Yeah, and we've got some huge preserves. A lot of people don't know about the preserve. Like, have you been to the one out of Flying Cow?
That's the one that way, close to Loxahatchee, or no, I'm sorry, 441. You take it down.
No, so you go west on Southern, and then Flying Cow Road. There's rustic ranches. There's some. You know, it's all becoming equestrian back there. Now, too. There's a bunch of, and then you go past that, and all of a sudden there's this giant preserve. The name of it is eluding me now, but we go there often because you got there and literally, I don't know how many miles of trails are, but it's got to be at least 15 miles of trails out there, and it's all protected wetlands. It's gorgeous.
I think my boyfriend goes out there often to look at not crocodiles, alligators.
They have some of them out there. I mean, you got to go, nowadays you got to go further. There used to be a lot of them out there.
Oh, yeah.
But now,
we just saw an alligator the other day.
There was one in the pond. So here's how you know you're going to see an alligator down here, right? So I'm coming right past Fortune Way, which is where it is. There's a little circle out there, right? And then you have that little retention pond.
Yeah.
So I'm coming by there earlier today, and this is how you know there's an alligator in a pond in South Florida. There are four people parked. There's 2 trucks. One of them is a animal control, and then the other one is an alligator trapper. And I look over, and there's maybe this 3-foot alligator. I mean, and
we saw one on 441 where Best Buy is.
Yeah, but they love it. But here's
I love seeing them.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I understand why people have concerns about alligators and stuff, but the bottom line is this: if you don't walk your dog right next to it, or you don't go poke it with a stick, for the most part, they don't want anything to do with it.
They won't come up to you.
When I first came down, we had alligators all of it. We loved it. We got excited because we had alligator in the pond. Yeah, all right, we got an alligator in the pond.
Seeing them.
That's
it's
it.
Great.
But now you know that there's an alligator because like there's a crowd, and then there's some guy pulling the alligator
either a big iguana, like a massive iguana.
A massive iguana, yeah. They'll do the same thing. Yeah.
Or most likely an alligator.
Have you ever seen? There was so they have this. So in my neighborhood, they have the iguana wrestlers or whatever. I don't know. They come in, they get the little, they grab them with the stuff. They'll shoot them. They'll do whatever.
Yeah, because they're invasive.
In case anybody's wondering why we're talking about iguanas here, because we're overrun with iguanas.
They're
right now.
invasive and they're extremely large.
And they're extremely annoying, and they're not scared of anything, and they shit all over the place.
When I was a kid. I try to save it, and it just.
Yeah, they don't care. But they shit all over the place. They dig holes everywhere, and it's really kind of an issue, right? And then some people get mad because but anyway, so there's a group. There's like 3 of them, and they're walking through, and they had the long lanyard thing, whatever it is on a stick, like you grab
the little loop.
Yeah, the loop thing. Like they do that for alligators too. But so they go, and there's a palm tree, and there's a giant orange iguana. So he was probably as long as this table, maybe a little. No, he had to be longer than that. Probably like 4.5 footer.
I believe it.
But he was thick. So, and this is a little dude, and he gets it, and he yanks, and he gets the thing, and this thing starts, and it's funny because the iguana's running, he's holding it, and he's sliding along the grass.
With the
iguana's dragging him across the grass, and then his 2 guys had to grab him, and then they were, it was just comical. But, anyways, that had nothing to do with what we're talking about. But there are some things about living. That's right. There are some things about living South Florida.
The conversation to iguanas.
Well, that's what happens, Yeah, as you know from being on that side. My mind wanders. I got no idea.
That's what you see when you come here, and it's honestly really cool.
And the nature part is awesome. So let's get to this because I know you're a big advocate, and like Tiffany is of camping, which I will not do. I camp.
I hate bugs, which is
camp
funny.
at hotels.
Like I frightful of insects, like spiders. My biggest is locust. I can't pronounce it for the life of me.
Locusts?
Yeah.
Locusts. Yeah.
Oh, I'm out.
Yeah. Well, so the funny thing is, like where you camp, we got what we call palmetto bugs down there. Was giant American cockroaches. Yeah. They'll get like this.
I freak out.
And they get into everything. And they're harmless as hell. They're not. It's not like
they won't do anything.
That's right. They're not even like if you get a German cockroach or the little Oriental ones. That means that you're nasty and you're not taking care of your stuff, and you need to kill them because they're the ones that spread all the whatever.
But cockroaches here, most part.
The palmetto bugs. They're flying. They're giant flying bugs or whatever.
Huge.
And they'll hiss at you and stuff. But where you camp, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Right. So you're cool with palmetto bug. You're cool with
palmetto bug. If I don't see them, I'm fine.
So that's the kind of bug you're okay with. Oh, okay. Well.
If I see it, I'm out.
All right. So let's go to this because once again, camping is something nowadays. And even when I was younger, I did it, but I wasn't. The tent camping, I wasn't a huge fan. Now it's a Hilton camp. If I'm camping, it's at a Hilton. So tell me, you guys, you were saying that you go. Was it near Weeki Wachee or whatever? Is that where you go?
Ocala.
So the Ocala area, up there where the springs are, right? So tell our viewing audience what the coolness and what the funness of that is, because for me, it's just freezing water that I'm not going to get in anyways.
It's great because in Ocala, you have about, I want to say, at least that I know of, 4 campsites, springs, all maybe like 15 massive miles away from each other.
But big campsites, not like little campgrounds.
No. These are just like, during springtime, they're crowded. I mean, people know about these springs and campsites. And what's so great about it, for me personally, what I've noticed with other friends who like camping is you have the beautiful springs, you have hikes. I mean, if you're a nature person, I mean, just seeing everything around you, seeing the wildlife, seeing the trees, it just really makes you appreciate Florida more, just because we are known for our being flat and like, you know, so you don't really.
Well, Ocala's got a whole nother range.
Yeah,
Ocala's got hills, and that's.
They actually built this amazing thing, and I have to find the name of it. And since I'm editing this, I'll just have it pop up. But
because you can.
Because I'm the producer. But it is basically they've made a part of Florida like mountainy. So they have a what is it called, zip line? It's literally like a little area, and it is like built on, I think, 15 feet of just like mountains and stuff. And they made it like man-made, and it's zip lines, and it's beautiful.
Is that near here, or is that up there?
It's Ocala, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I mean, it's awesome.
So I thought there's something in Jonathan Dickinson State Park. I thought
we went there last week.
I thought they had like a zip line type thing there.
I don't know if they have a zip line. They might have it through the trees, like with the trees connected. This one is more like you're going over a huge lake.
Really? So it's a long.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, we did Jonathan Dickinson.
Yeah, we like that. We like
I didn't like that much.
No, it's scrub. So it's a scrub park, right?
That
There's
one
different.
I didn't care for.
Well, we got different kind of
but
parks,
it's still beautiful during the day.
Right, it's definitely more scrub and stuff. And that part we go because there's certain birds that my wife likes to look. You know, whatever. She's not a birder necessarily, but she likes to do whatever. And honestly, if you're just walking for exercise like we do a lot of times, it's just nice to do it in a park.
Just like that.
And then the Loxahatchee Battlefield Park, I think, is the one that was a little bit out west. That one's pretty cool, and you can get in and do kayaking from there and all that.
Yeah.
And there's a lot.
Okeechobee even is
Okeechobee's
awesome.
not bad.
And there's two parts to it. There's the horse equestrian part, which is my favorite. Yeah. It is beautiful.
And there's also mountain biking paths back there, which are kind of illegal because really they're supposed to be on the other side of the street, but they still jump over. And they haven't developed a lot. A lot of that's still wide open, but it is huge. And honestly, it's a cool place to go.
Water activity there too.
They do. They have it's wakeboarding.
Yeah,
they have a whole wakeboard park there. They have it's Tiger Shark Wakeboard Park, I think, or something like that. We have Okeechobee Park hosts not only the World Championships for water skiing, slalom, and jumping, I think, or whatever. I don't know. Apparently they make there's a couple different versions of it, but it's the water skiers. They do the World Championships there on the lakes in Okeechobee Park. And the little BMX track that's there does state championships and all that sort of stuff. And I think they're vying to try to do some kind of national championships.
I think they're trying to grow it too.
Well, so they can only grow it so much because there's nowhere else to grow it to, right?
Exactly. I mean, they have to cover more area.
Yeah, they don't have any more area to cover really. And the problem is, like, if they do like a statewide thing or something, parking, like they load it up, man. It is crazy how many people get in there. It is
also very minimal parking. Like if you're over here and you pass by it on Forest Hill, it's minimal parking.
Yeah. Well, there is like in the back, but the problem is that when they do those things, there's also
the big trailers.
Soccer. Well, they'll do that too. So they open a trailer park in there so you can pull your trailers in and all that. But they have so many soccer fields and baseball fields, and it's such a huge park already that's used locally that it does get pretty full. But I don't think they can make it any bigger. I'm sure they would love to, but there's
it's just
no more spot there.
But besides the parks,
and that's all volunteer. Did you know that's a totally volunteer run? It's run by volunteers. It's not for profit. The state doesn't run it. It's all it's parents and stuff of the kids that ride the BMX. And it's all volunteer run. Now it's sponsored by the county, I think, but it's completely 100% run by volunteers. There's no profit in it.
I thought it was like you go, you sign up, and like I'm sure you still do, but
there's no.
I thought there was like an actual like company behind it.
No, there's no. It's run by volunteers, and they're whatever you pay into it is just to maintain the whatever. And apparently a lot of it comes out of the parents' pockets too when they got to do some stuff because they got robbed not long ago by some jerk.
That sucks.
Yeah, it's so good. He robbed him twice. He went in there, robbed him one night at 2 o'clock in the morning. He got away with it. So he went the next night and robbed him again. Stole some bikes, broke stuff. It's not like they got much. They didn't have much in there. They had a little cash box from whatever everything was with a couple $100 and all that. But they destroyed a lot of stuff. So they had to go, and the parents paid for that out of their pocket. So that's a whole nother thing.
That is horrible.
Don't want to get too pinpointed on something. So let's go back to the outdoor activities and what you enjoy about outdoor activities. Have you ever been to or how much time do you spend on the West Coast now? You said you were
like Sarasota. I've been almost a year ago. Beautiful. I mean, that was my first time going.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it was an awesome experience. I will 100% go again. I mean, just the way that the town is set up. I mean, I know with the hurricane, it sadly ruined so many businesses and so many things, and like my heart goes out to the West Coast.
But they want you back, people, because they need to rebuild.
Yeah, the tourism is what brings.
Coming back is what's going to rebuild.
It really will. And honestly, like if you go, the people there are so nice. I mean, we have a weird stereotype that Floridians are not nice people. I feel like are some of the nicer. It depends on where you go. If you go to Boca, just don't expect anyone to be nice to you.
That's not actually true. But listen.
But it is beautiful there. And the tourism is going to really help them build back up.
And listen, so part of the reason I think that people, and it is largely true in like a lot of neighborhoods, you could have a whole street and nobody knows anybody.
Yeah.
You might know the person directly across from me or something like that, but nobody even knows their neighbor on the right or left. I got a dude that lives in my neighborhood. He's lived in 22 years now. He was there when I got there. He was like one of the first, 22 years. And he just started waving back to me like 3 years ago. It's crazy, man. And he like, I don't know. He comes out of his house. He does his thing. He won't look at anybody. People walk by. He's out there working his yard or watering on. He just does his thing. And he's always looking grumpy. Vibing. Well, no, I mean, he obviously has a job. I mean, he's actually a professor. I know what he does, right? Cool. But when he gets home, he just doesn't want to deal with anybody. And we do get that, and there's certain neighborhoods, and being a realtor, like some people ask me, oh, is it a family friendly neighborhood? I'll be like, no, not really.
Everyone just
because everybody goes there and then they take their kids somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But you never see kids running the street or whatever. Now there's some neighborhoods where you do.
Used to.
And it's not when I'm saying running the streets, I don't mean that. I mean, like I'm saying I've been working in this neighborhood selling stuff for 15 years. I've never seen a kid on a bike. Like literally, because there's certain neighborhoods that different people gravitate to, and it's just what it is.
My neighborhood is full of kids,
and so
to the point where they will throw a basketball at your car if you try to ruin their basketball game.
Well, were they playing in the middle of the street?
Oh yeah. They have little things set up. I mean, I love to see it.
Listen, that's what we did. So. That's what we did back in the day. Everybody played in the middle of the street. We didn't have. Neighbors got a basketball court. But it's good to see
because it, like, I don't know, just seeing the kids like not be on their phones all the time. I mean, they're the next generation after us. So
well, so that's one of the things down there too that, and not your age, but the younger kids, like the parents come down and they're like, oh my God, my kids go out and they, whatever, they spend time outside and they do stuff. They're not just doing that.
Exactly.
Because
there's things to do out here. I mean, I remember being young and just going outside and like making little potions with the soil and leaves. Like you just play outside. You don't have a ball. You have the leaves and the soil and
that's it. We love
water.
We love playing in the rain and the gutters will get filled up, and whatever the side of the road things were. They're not gutters here. They're like little swathy things. But they would get filled up, and then we would like try to make little boats to roll down. Whatever. Out playing in the rain. It's okay. You know why? Because
the outdoors. I've never been to the Keys.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Keys is awesome. I love the Keys.
My boyfriend's a big Keys guy.
Yeah, he was at first. He was, so you fish? I'm like,
yeah, my boyfriend's a fisher. Yeah,
which
fishing is awesome here.
Fishing is amazing.
You can fish anywhere.
Yeah, do you fish or you?
Yeah,
or was it by proxy? You grew up fishing.
Oh yeah,
so you're a beach.
We would go to Deerfield, and there's a pier if you know the area, the Deerfield pier, and you would just go out there, and then there'd be little cockroaches running because of all the fish scales.
Absolutely,
and that freaked me out, but it was still fun.
They love them. Well, listen, listen, anywhere you're near the water, I know you're getting palmetto bugs, which is a cockroach, big cockroaches. But so that's cool, and you're like a product of South Florida because 5 years old, you're basically a native.
Yeah, I moved back when I was 21
to Turkey.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I moved back. I stayed for 3 months. It was originally to see my. You can't
really call that moving back. Then you visited.
Well, I went with the intention of moving, and then I was like, you know what, like, there's no reason for me to go to school there if. From here, so I came back. I was like, all right, this is fun. I'm just going to call this a trip. And then I came back. I mean, it's great being here.
Listen, I agree.
So much.
Like, I grew up in Germany for several years when I was younger and stuff. And I go back, but it's not, I wouldn't want to live there, right?
And I mean, you're used to where you are, and you're just this is home.
Yeah, that's it. And you get your sort of things, and you get your comfort levels and your people and whatever it is. So if you're not camping. West Coast. So where else? Do you ever go up to Orlando to the parks and stuff, or you like that? Yeah.
I'm not a big what is it?
Theme park
person. No? I'm not a Disney
person. Not a roller coaster ride.
I mean, I'll go on it, but I mean, I'll only go if it's like my friend's birthday or like the family wants to go. There has to be a reason. I'm not going to make that itinerary. I'm not. Yeah. That's not my.
No, I got
first
you. And
choice.
that's So we used to go when my daughter was younger and stuff like that because she really loved it. And we still go sometimes. Like my wife and I really love the Harry Potter stuff.
So I do. I'm a big Harry Potter fan. So
they're getting ready to build a new one. It's kind of a new Harry Potter thing when it's there. We'll go check it out.
I went last year for the new ride that came out, Harold's. It's Harold something. Hagrid. There we go.
The motorcycle
It's
thing.
funny how I said I'm a big fan of Harry Potter, and I said Harold, and so I can't remember names for the life of me.
But the cool thing is that you could just go up there and honestly you can make a day trip. My daughter will go like I won't.
It's 2.5 hours, 3 hours about.
Yeah, actually, I mean, depending on traffic, I mean it's 2 hours is like you're like getting to the signs.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, about 2.5 hours.
You wake up at 6, you get there, and then you just leave around 6:30, 7 at night, and you come home.
Because that's what young people do, not people like me. If I'm going up there, I'm staying for the night. Yeah, and we actually really like it. And I am a Hilton guy. I'm definitely a Hilton guy, but. Going to Isles of Adventure and all that stuff, staying on site. We take the boats to the parks and all that.
I love that. We went to the Universal. It's one of the hotels. It's like animal themed. It is beautiful. It takes a ferry. It's like a 4-minute ferry.
The Polynesian, was it like more of a jungle theme?
Yeah.
Probably the Polynesian because they got the Hard Rock, they got the Portofino, the Polynesian. They got one new one, but I don't know if they still
do this. But if they do, it's awesome. If you're coming to visit, I don't know if it's just for Florida residents, but if you stay at a hotel and you get an express pass automatically.
No, not only that, but if you're in those particular parks, if you stay at one of the on-site things at Universal Islands Adventure, they open the park an hour early. Yeah. And I think might stay open late too. I don't know. We never do really. I mean, like for me, it's my wife and I will go and we enjoy it and we enjoy stuff about it, but it's like 3 to 4 hours max. Yeah. Like that's it. That's all you're getting.
No, I could only do so much.
That's it.
A lot of people.
But the cool thing about there is that if you're staying on site, like you start drinking at the park. Mm-hmm. And you can be drunk and stumble on over to the boat. Yep. You go on the boat, and then you go have dinner, and you go do whatever the hotels got going.
And they have great restaurants inside the hotels.
Yeah, you can go to any of the hotels that you want to. Hard Rock used to be really cool. They used to have a place, they called this thing Velvet Sessions in the Velvet Bar.
I want to know about that one.
No, it was cool. I was thinking they would have like Duran Duran and all these like cool, and this little, like literally my teeny, maybe the size of this whole thing, just a little bar. And they had the Velvet Sessions. They had all these big bands that would go in there.
That sounds fun. Like the live music, the jazz.
Yeah.
Like bluegrass kind, or?
No, there's mainly rock stuff. Like, you know, I mean, it was the Hard Rock.
So it was mostly.
I think it's called the Hard Rock Hotel or something. Whatever their rock and roll. Mm-hmm. I think it is the Hard Rock. It is Hard Rock because they have the Hard Rock venue there. Mm. But anyways, I digress. That's another thing that really doesn't have anything to do with you. But we're getting kind of toward the end. So I'm going to just turn it over to you. Like, what did we not cover? What are the things that you think people your age want to hear that we haven't talked about? Oh, shopping.
Great shopping here.
Yeah?
Are
you a gardens shopper girl? Or
I will go anywhere that has the best deals, but also depends on, because I feel like New York and California are known for like the shops. I mean, we really have some amazing, like I don't like Miami, but if I'm in Miami, I will make it a whole day. They have the great like Miami district,
Lincoln Road type.
Lincoln Road too, but they have the arts. It's called the Miami Design District. I think it is
Design District. Yep.
They have. I mean, even like as much as I don't like going to Boca, it's really just traffic and but. Other things too, but they have a really good mall. I mean, we have shopping
like Meisner. You're talking about like Meisner?
Meisner, but also the Boca Mall. They did a whole renovation. I mean, when I used to live there, it was just a regular mall. Now they've like really outdone themselves with the restaurants too.
They have like a little amphitheater there too now, like where they do music stuff. Like I know they have something down there around.
They might have added it.
Yeah, they added it. Right.
I know they have one in Meisner.
Yeah.
And then also food. I mean, we talked about food before. I mean,
so many choices.
I'm a big foodie, so like if you're looking for Asian food, if you're looking for Middle Eastern food, if you're looking for whatever you're looking for, we have it.
Yeah, we are the great melting pot down here, really, like legit, like almost like New York City, because we have people from every walk of life down here.
Oh, yeah.
And we do, and the access is right there and you can go one day, like, not even that, you can go get your appetizer at a legit Thai place. And then go to a legit Peruvian place for the next course, and then go to So we get the whole
switch it up every day, and it's.
What about Turkey? Is Turkish?
We have Turkish markets here.
For your cuisine, what is that? Is that like tandoori and stuff, or no?
No, we have Turkish cuisine. I mean,
what would be like the type? What would be a Turkish dish that most people would
I feel like we're known for our desserts, which, I mean, Greeks have baklava as well. I mean, it's more of a Middle Eastern thing.
Honey and nuts and stuff.
It's like a phyllo dough stuffed with nuts and syrup. I mean, it's layered. It's awesome. We have so many different types of food.
I know what baklava is. I was saying in general terms, though, like the type of desserts. You're saying you're known for desserts.
We're known for, I mean, everything. We have, also like with Turkey, depending on which area of Turkey is known for certain things. Like Adana is known for meat. Like they do meat amazingly. And in Ankara and Ürgüp, which is like where my mom's from, they're good with like dough things. So our food is very diverse, but also because we're in that Middle East where we have all the surrounding countries and we all share very similar entrees.
Got it, yeah.
So like we'll have different versions of things that maybe another country has, or we've all adapted each other's food. So, I mean, if you go to a Mediterranean place, you'll have like things from Turkey. If you go to other parts.
Yeah, they kind of mix it in, right? Like, so the Mediterranean style restaurants kind of mix a lot of different.
I don't go to Mediterranean restaurants. I mean, I'm from Turkey. My mom's a chef.
Exactly. It's very, very hard to.
Nothing's beating my mom's.
That's it. It's very, very, very difficult. We went with my mother to the German restaurant Heidelberg down in Fort Lauderdale for an event that she wanted to go to. And it was like, I mean, and they did a really good job, but it wasn't.
I don't know if I've ever had German food. What's German?
Schnitzels and sauerbraten and sausages, a lot of that kind of stuff. Okay. Hearty, more,
Okay.
They're not known for like dainty stuff. They're like you get a schnitzel hearty. And it's like this big. It's a big piece of meat that's breaded, fried, and they throw some mushrooms and stuff on it and a runny egg and go to town.
I'll eat it. That sounds good to me.
All right, and you thought she's like all nervous about I'm not gonna be able to talk and all this. Guess what? We could do this for an hour now. We're gonna have to have you on again.
My friends are gonna see me. They're like, you really got challah on you.
Listen, we're gonna have to do this again because we didn't scratch the surface. Just like Mickey, the last guest. It's so hard. It's
forcing my boyfriend to come. He is a talkative person. He's going to be great for this.
Yeah, it's so hard though in like 25, 30 minutes to get really too far.
A lot of information, especially with Florida.
But I do want to thank you for coming on.
Of course.
And guys, so we're at Counter House Studios. She is the producer that generally sits over there. If you want more information about her, she's going to put her little thing where like a damn where you push the button. And if you want more information about this studio and the stuff that the opportunities are available here, because we really didn't talk about what you actually do.
Yeah.
Get in touch with her.
Save that for next time.
Yeah. Next time, right?
Yeah,
so there's going to be a next time.
I'm getting better. I see Ty over there. He's smiling.
Sounds good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming, and we'll see you guys next time here on Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Have a great day, guys. Hey, guys. Thank you for tuning in to Living in South Florida Does Not Suck. Please do subscribe with the notification bell on. If you liked today's guest, you can also get more information about them right here. Like magic, it will appear. Anyways, we love having you here. We love having your friends here. Shout it out from the rooftops. Like us on Facebook. Share it with your friends. We'll see you soon here in beautiful, sunny South Florida.